About 1 minute, guys. Thirty seconds. Ten seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Let's roll it out. Come on, guys. Those legs moving. Good morning, everybody. Good morning. Hey now. All right. So you see it correctly. We're on our own today, our own power. No ERG on this one. We're shifting gearing based on the undulation of the course. There's nothing too steep, nothing too long timing wise, but we're going to execute our power under our own pressure the entire workout. So I'll tell you what percentage you should be at. You execute, you're going to be shifting gears based on the power and the cadence that we're looking for, the effort. So know what the percentage of efforts are. You got your threshold. What's 90% of your threshold? 80%, 70%, 60%. We're all adults here. We can do math. But you're seeing it correctly. You do not have the watts in the upper left-hand corner like we do in the ERGs on, or the steps. And if you're riding this after the fact, you're watching the YouTube, turn your ERG off. I want you guys riding this on your own. ERG's off. Shifting gears, you're going to be in the big ring in the front. There's no real reason you should be in the small ring in the front for this entire ride. Right now, we're just spinning nice and easy, nice and relaxed, building into the effort. We'll stay on the same theme that we've been on the last few weeks of tempo on this one, right around our FTP for a majority of the efforts. But because we're under our own power, I can throw some curveballs in there, change some things up as we go based on what I'm seeing. So not like I have to stick to the ERG or tell you to hit the down arrow. I can give you a range. Okay, I want you in 70 to 80%. And you can play around in that range. But watch the upper right-hand corner of your Zwift screen. You have your percentage incline or decline. So it says 3% right now. We're going uphill. If that were a negative like it is now, 1, 2, 3, we're going downhill. So you want to know the feeling on the pedals. You want to be able to shifting gears based on what that incline or decline is doing. Climb or descent. So we're going to spin easy here for a couple more minutes. Nice and relaxed. Drive your knees, relax the lower leg. Feel the pressure on those pedals. Make sure you're leading the pedal stroke with the heel. Heel through the top, heel down the front. Pull that heel under the bottom. Heel up the back. Slowly building that heart rate. Getting those muscles warm. I know we dug deep on Tuesday. A lot of you guys did some good work yesterday. So it might take a little bit longer to get the legs warm. A little longer to get the body warmed up. Give it the time. Got plenty of work to do over this hour and 20 minutes. Take your time building into it. Yesterday did the podcast with Jerry over here in the studio. We talked a little bit more about the lull. All right, the lull that you hit halfway through a workout or a race or an interval, and how to re-engage and focus on the process. Inject a little spice into the effort. So we're going to work on that today. All right, let's try and bring that effort up to about 60%. Nothing too hard, should still feel pretty easy. A slight increase in effort, slight increase on that knee drive, creating the momentum with the knee drive. We're going to build effort slightly every 3 minutes here. 60, 70, 80%, we'll recover and we'll hit the main set. But I want your cadence on the 85 to 95 range. So shift the gear easier and bring the cadence up while focusing on that 60% effort. You get power out of the pedal stroke. And to raise the power while you're at higher and higher cadences, we got to be efficient, smooth, ankle relaxed, pedaling circles. We're going uphill, shift gears. 1%, 2%. Constantly shifting gears when we're racing. When you're outdoors, you're not stuck in just one gear. You're always shifting based on the feel. We got to know the feel of the pressure on the pedals at certain cadences, at certain undulation in the course. And we keep that pressure on the pedals. And the nice smooth rhythm that Coach Chris always talks about as we pedal through the terrain. And you do that by shifting gears. And it becomes second nature. You don't have to think about it. You just do it when things start to change. The feel starts to change. It's like reading a book. You just do it. We got to practice it. So I love these Thursday rides. It's free riding. Makes you think about a different aspect. All right, we're going to go up to 70% effort. Keep the cadence on the higher end, 85 to 95. Let's bring it up to 70%. %, isn't too hard yet. What most of us would shoot to hold in an Ironman bike portion, 112 miles. Our cadence is a little higher than we'd shoot for on race day. That's definitely a maintainable effort. And we got to know how that heart rate lines up to the power. Because on race day, number one thing you got to know is the feel. How should I feel during an Ironman or a half Ironman? Number 2, heart rate. What should my heart rate be? At the effort I'm looking to hold for the distance. And your third metric is power. Racing is different than training. Training, we can focus on power first, see how the heart rate aligns, and learn the feel. Race day, we flip it. Feel, heart rate, power. All right, make sure the weight is on the back of the shoe. You're not pressing down on the front half of your shoe. You're letting the heel lead, getting that posterior chain involved, keeping the stress off the knees, the quads as much as you can, the shins, and putting the stress on the back end, glutes, the hamstrings. Helps you stabilize in the saddle. Not lean too far forward. Just for fun, when you're pedaling right now, lean into the front of your shoe. Right? Lean into the front of your shoe so you're putting the pressure at the front. And feel how the pressure changes on your leg. Feeling your knee, feeling your shin. You're leaning into the front end. Now switch it, put the pressure on the back of the shoe, lead the pedal stroke with the heel, and feel all that change. Stress comes to the back of the body. You stabilize on the saddle. Let's bring our effort up to 80%. We're climbing. So take that into account. Try and keep your cadence in the 80 to 90 range. Effort comes up to 80%. And shift those gears. Only at 4%, you're probably going to be in the big ring in the front, or you should be in the big ring in the front still. Nice smooth pedal stroke. Don't fight the hill. Be one with the hill. Hill climbing, 5%. Get up to 5, 6, 7%. Might be a little harder to push that big ring in the front. But once it comes back down to 3, 4, 2, 3, 4%, probably back in that big ring. As long as it's smooth and efficient, that's what I care about. And you're keeping on the power. Easy to let it fall off when you're climbing. Fall into that lower end rhythm because it doesn't hurt. When the course slows down, we slow down the least. All right, pushing over the top, get on the pedals, change gearing, keep the cadence up, and get back up the race pace speed as quick as possible. Going back up, shift, shift. This is the short one. Coming to the top, shift the gearing harder, shift the gear harder. Get your cadence up, drive your knees, push over the top. 80% effort. Right on that 80%. Keep shifting. Just because we're going downhill doesn't mean you freewheel. Keep the pressure on the pedals. Keep it at 80%. Come on. Three, two. Spin it out easy, guys. Nice and easy. Five-minute easy spin. Get a drink. We're going uphill on this easy spin. I want it to be easy. So keep it nice and light on the pedals. Shift the gear to be maybe probably in the small ring in the front. We're not about racing. You're all sticking together no matter what. Doesn't make a difference who's where in the group. Zwift will move you around throughout. So keep it nice and light, nice and easy. It's not about this recovery. It's about the work that we're going to do. So main set 6 by 5 minutes. We're going to build into it. I know you might have looked at the training peaks and said, oh my God, 6 by 5 minutes at threshold. We're going to build into it. Number one's going to be 80%. Where's Ellen? Ellen, hit unmute. Let me hear what the noise is. Come on. Where you at?
I'm right here.
Let's hear the noise. Ellen has her trainer's making a noise. I jinxed her with my broken cassette yesterday, Tuesday.
Yeah. I took the bike out and I popped it back in the trainer. I must have effed something up.
We'll just pull
So
the,
it works
pull the
fine in
chain,
some.
get off, pull the chain out, reset it, and then it should be fine.
Okay, thanks.
Just pull the chain back and seat it in there again. Oh, that disappeared like a fart in the wind. Oh, okay, bye. Turns off the camera, turns off the sound. All right. So we're still going up. So I said number one's going to be 80%. So let's think about that 80% effort. But what I also said earlier is we're going to do things to help combat that lull that we get around 2.5 minutes in. So just pay attention to my cues and respond accordingly. Cadence for number one is going to be in that 75 to 85 range. We're still going uphill, guys. I don't want you to overcook the recovery portion because you're pushing to go uphill here, Mione. Bloody lung. Take it easy. We're all sticking together in this recovery or in this workout. We're banded together. There's no breaking away. So there's no sense in trying to push too hard here to crush the competition. It ain't gonna happen. So we'll get going in 90 seconds. We got 5 minutes at 80% or so. But I want you to think about what's 80%, what's 90%, what's threshold. Know your numbers. So when I say, okay, let's bump it up to 90, you can just go right to it. Bring it back down to 80, you go right back to that. Know those numbers. But even though we're watching our power, we're watching the undulation of the course, we're never forgetting about our technique. Always dialed into the process. Leading with the heel, through the top, down the front, under the bottom, up the back. Driving the knees, stabilizing the saddle. Upper body's relaxed. So we're going to be in the big ring in the front. Got 30 seconds. We'll hit 5 minutes at 80%. Cadence 75 to 85. Take it out in 20 seconds. And work the gearing. Watch the percentage incline or descent. All right, here we go. 80% effort. 3, 2, 1. Still have a slight uphill, 2%. And we're not overcooking it. We have plenty of time to go hard in this workout, and we will. I want to be really conservative, finding the rhythm, extending our warm-up a little longer, knowing how hard you guys have been working this week. Watch that heart rate slowly come up and meet that 80% power. Should happen around 90 seconds in. And if you're fit, it'll stabilize at that 80%. Good, so we're 1 minute in. How's that heart rate doing? Still coming up? Is it at your 80% heart rate yet? Work the gearing, know the feel. That cadence, that race pace cadence you're shooting for. Going back uphill. This course is never flat for too long. Means we're constantly changing those gears, learning the effort. 80% is around your half Ironman race pace. 2 minutes in. 2 minutes in, 3 minutes to go. That's something I rarely say. But I want to mentally beat you right now. Oh man, 3 minutes. Come on. What do you do when your mind starts to say, hey, 2 minutes in, I'm over this. 3 minutes ago, I'm actually kind of bored. Your mind starts wandering, thinking about the Eagles parade that's happening later. How you're not going to get to go there and climb the flagpole like you used to do when you're 20. That's when you have to dial back into the process. Let's bring the cadence up a little bit. Bring it up the threshold for 30 seconds. Come on. We're going uphill. Threshold. Let's go. Bring it up to your threshold effort. Cadence comes up slightly. Five seconds. 3, 2. Back to 80%. We're climbing. Back to 80. Now the end is in sight. We got 90 seconds. All right. You threw a little bit of stimulation in there. You worked hard on the climb. Got through the climb, slowed down the least, pushed over the top. Now you're back to your race pace. You broke it up into a smaller segment. Go at 80%. Watch your left knee, make sure it's straight up and down. No wobble. Heel drives down on the front. Bring that heel up in the back. 30 seconds. Watch your right knee, same thing. Straight up and down. Heel down in the front. Up in the back. Three, 2, 1. Spin it out. 3 minutes easy. O'Driscoll, what do you got?
Oh my, you're going to have to pay attention on this one. This is going to be tough. Two things: a feeling, an effort, and a time. We know the time is going to be 5 minutes. We know the feeling is going to be probably a 7 or an 8. And we know the effort's going to be 80%. So marry the three together. And then the other thing is, if you've got error bars, try and stay down for that full 5 minutes in error, if you can. I got the temptation of coming up and trying to move around. Get rid of that sensation. Just stay down for the whole 5 minutes. Jim will tell you when your time's up. So feeling, effort, time. So that effort's going to go up a little bit here. Know what it feels like. Going to be hitting the red zone a little bit. So probably somewhere where you don't want to go race day. 25 minutes in, might be good to have a gel or a piece of cake or something.
Jimmy Dean. Jimmy Dean sausage. Okay, so 27-minute mark. We're going to go into the number 2, 90% effort. All right, 10% below threshold, 90% effort. Got a nice descent here to spin the legs. Perfect timing. You guys doing a good job changing those gears based on the undulation. As you saw, 2.5 minutes in, we had that hill. Put in an effort. Broke up the 5 minutes. The smaller segment. Got the cadence up, re-engaged in the process. And you got through that lull efficiently, making every second count. All right, so we go 90%, big ring in the front. Should be coming out of this descent right in time. And here we go, 10 seconds. Big ring in the front, change the gearing. Back to flat terrain, 90% effort. 3, 2, 1. Cadence 75 to 85. We're to 3% descent. Means you got to shift to a gearing on the outside of the cassette to get the most speed you can out of the course. You see that course start to go downhill, you don't just start the soft pedal. You pedal through that descent. Keep the power where you need to keep that power. And keep that speed top end. Probably about your Olympic distance race pace. 1 minute in. Never want to think, oh, it's only a short incline. I'm not going to shift gears. I'm going to be lazy and pedal through the slight bump in the road. You let that muscular load build up time after time after time. Like you're stopping, doing a set of squats, getting back on the bike, riding a tempo, stopping, doing a set of squats. I want you guys shifting gears to keep the cadence in range. So you don't get that burn. You don't build that load, fatiguing those muscles. We do that in training, not in racing. Good, we're halfway in. I was at 90%. Focus out here, push over the top. Change gears, stay on the pedals. Big effort, threshold effort. 30 seconds, come on. Bring it up. You can keep threshold going downhill. Let's go. "15 seconds at threshold. Back to 90%, 2, 1, 90%. Stay on the pedals. Got 1 minute to go. Good, 45. Heel down, under, up, over through the top. Keep the effort up as we climb. Push over the top. Keep the effort up. Come on. Effort up. Cadence up. Three, two, spin it out.
Hey, Jim, how do you hold your power going downhill?
Pedal. You got to change the gear. So it's a good question because on this course, you can change into the smallest cog on the cassette and hold the power. Anything above or below, how you say it, -5, -6, you spin out and you can do what you can do, but then it becomes negative returns. You try and hold the power at a really high cadence because that's what it takes because the descent is so steep, you end up burning more energy than it's worth. So you got to use the descent to your advantage, back the effort off a little bit. You can still keep some bite on the pedal stroke, but you can't try and push a big power number with a steep descent. You burn too many matches. But when the descent is -2, 3, 4, you have enough gearing to stay on the pedals without spinning out.
But it
So that's
feels
what
so
we want to
good to go
practice here. You
downhill.
don't want to
Right.
have a bunch of spikes and valleys in your power, right? You want a nice smooth power line for the most part throughout the course of your race. That leads to the best runs. But you also have to ride the course is what it gives you, right? What I'm saying about on the hills, we tend to, because it hurts going uphill, you're bringing up gravity, you're fighting gravity, the weight of your body, the weight of your bike. So we settle into a lower number because that's what feels comfortable. We got to attack the hills, keep the power up in our range, and not let that comfort creep in. Push over the top, keep the pedal on the power on the pedals. That's another spot you guys want to let that power drop because you get to the top. All right, I worked hard up the hill. Now I'm going to relax. All that work you did coming up the hill, you don't want to go be for naught by letting up on the top of the hill and letting everybody you passed on the hill catch up to you because you let off the pressure. And then into the downhill, you're shifting harder, harder, harder until you start to spin out and you're not getting bite. But you got to stay on the pedals and get up to speed as quick as possible. All right, here we go. 90 to threshold, 2, 1. So you can start at 90%. By a minute in, I want you to bring it up to threshold. Cadence 75 to 80. Watch those knees. Don't let the focus on the power, the heart rate, the undulation. Allow for those compensations to creep in your process, in your technique. So we have a good chance to practice our hill climbing on this one because we're going to be going uphill for a good amount of it. Bring it up to threshold, 2, 1, let's go. We're at 3%, change the gearing. Try to keep that cadence in the 70s. Upper body's relaxed, jaw's relaxed, ankles relaxed. We're threshold effort, come on. Bring it back to 90% in 2, 1, 90%. It's not a recovery. Keep the pressure on. We're going to be able to push over the top. Keep the effort up. Change gears accordingly. Let's go. Change. Change. Back up the threshold in 3, 2, 1. Come on. Threshold. We're climbing. Stabilize in the saddle. Use that stability to help drive those knees. Come on, stay on it. Stay on the effort. Come on. Gonna go uphill again. It's easy to back off. Anybody can back off. Don't be anybody. Bring it back to 90% as you climb. 90% effort. Know your 90% number. Don't let that power drop below. If it does, it's only a split second and you get back on it. That's your base bar. 3, 2, 1. Spin it out easy. Three minutes. Nice work, guys. That's how you stay on it. So you know that number that I'm spitting out there, 90%, say it's 200 watts. We're going uphill, guys. Don't let that hill force too hard of an effort. Keep it easy, little ring in the front. Spit it out. But know that number, know that 90%, know that threshold. When I say, okay, go to threshold, and you know your threshold's 250, you're watching the watts, you're keeping it 250 and above. As soon as it drops down, you put in a little bit of an effort to get it back up to 250. Play the mind games with yourself, knowing that base, that floor is the number I'm calling out, and you don't let the power drop below that floor. The GIMP lives in the basement. You don't live in the basement. Yeah, Lath likes that one. A little pulp fiction humor. All right. This one's going to be all at threshold. Threshold the entire way through. You're welcome. Know that floor. Watch the power. It's like we talked about last Thursday. You're on the rivet. It's not easy. It's hard to go any harder. And your body wants to say, back it down. You're right on that rivet. Just like your Levi's denim. Bop, 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 bop. Right down the side. Boom. That's the line you're on. One side you're on the front of the leg. The other side you're on the back of the leg. Don't be the ass. Be the balls. Okay, here we go. That's my new shirt, Alex. Alex, trademark that one. Be on the rivet. Here we go. 2, 1. Big ring in the front. Threshold effort, 5 minutes. It's light uphill, nothing too crazy. Help you get a feel for it. We do our 20K in a couple weeks again. You're going to know that threshold, that floor, because you're going to be over it for 12.4 miles. How's that heart rate looking? Is it up? We're a minute 15 in. Drop your shoulders. Relax your traps. Stabilize in the saddle. Good rhythm with the feet. Feel that cadence that you're comfortable at, your race pace cadence. And keep it there. No matter what the course is doing. 2.5 minutes in. Focus on the process. Drop your left heel as you bring the right heel up. Left heel down the front, right heel up the back. Right heel down the front, left heel up the back. Come on. Going uphill. Stay on the process. We're gonna push over the top. 3, 2, 1. Get on the cadence, get on the gearing. Keep it at threshold, over the top. Let's go. How are we doing on that? I'm in my smallest cog on my cassette. The more torque. "30 seconds. Keep it right there. Left heel down, right heel up. Right heel down, left heel up. Three, 2, spin it out. Good. Keep those legs moving. 3 minutes easy. All right, we're learning some today. We're learning that feel. Learning how to change our gears. We make every second count on course. No matter what your goal is, maybe it's just finish. Maybe it's win your age group. Maybe it's PR at the distance. I want you finishing knowing you got every second out of that course that you could. But in order to do that, this is the way you got to ride it. In a course like Oceanside, we have 30 athletes racing Oceanside. The first 30 miles, pretty flat, tailwind. You think you're going to ride the thing in less than 2 hours. And then you hit the back 26 miles and you feel like death. Because all that undulation, all that course happens within 20 miles. Mile 30 to mile 50, you get over 2,000 feet of elevation gain. You gotta ride that course like this. Tacked uphills, push over the top, get on the pedals into the downhills. And you just repeat that over and over and over and over again. And it hurts. But where most other athletes are floundering and feeling the pain, you know you can withstand it. You have the knowledge and the experience to push through no matter what that undulation is doing. But we got to practice it. All right, we're going to threshold again. 30 seconds, we'll hit it off. Know your heart rate, know your power. Threshold number is the floor. You're on the rivet, right on that edge of maintainable and not maintainable, but it's maintainable. So really dial into that floor. Don't let the power drop below. We're going downhill. It should be flattening out real soon. 2, 1, let's go. Big ring in the front. Shifting the gears accordingly in the back based on the descent right now. So bring it out to the outer edge of the cassette. Drive your knees. Knee drives down, knee floats up, down the front, up the back. Think about your left knee driving straight down while your right knee comes straight up the back. Think about that for 30 pedal strokes. Left knee down, right knee up. Count to yourself. Let's go. Good. Right knee down, left knee up. 30 pedal strokes. Count to yourself. Let's go. "45 seconds. I want you to watch your wattage. Anytime it drops below your threshold, recognize it. Bring that power back up. More of a knee drive. Good, better stability on the saddle. Whatever it takes. It only drops below threshold for a fraction of a second, if at all. Now you're watching your wattage. Look down at your knees. Make sure when you were watching wattage, you didn't start to get sloppy with the pedal stroke, the knee drive. It's like rubbing your tummy and patting your head. You got to do it all at the same time. Pay attention to this technique. Watch your power. Watch your heart rate. Work with the undulating of the course. Shifting gears. All while you're being safe. Looking out for other riders and other cars. crucial we master this now. Keep it there. 50 seconds. Right knee dries down. Left knee straight up. 20 pedal strokes. Right down, left up. Let's go. Left down, right up for 20. Let's go. Three, two, one. Spin it out. Easy. Three minutes. Get a drink.
You know what, Jimmy? We have some tough frigging women in this group, man. I show a round of applause for the women in this group. They are so frigging tough.
Leading the
Every
way.
single one of you, man. It's
Leading by
amazing
example.
work you ladies are doing. Getting up with a butt crack of dawn to do this ride. Well done. Every single one of you putting in a solid 100% effort. Well done.
All right, guys, nice job using that floor. It's your little carrot to focus on. Keep things from falling into that lull. What are the mind games you have to play with yourself? How do you have to engage? How do you have to change things up to get out of that monotony of the effort of the time? It's a skill we got to keep working on as we progress in the racing, because it will present itself on race day. How do you deal with it? Physically, we make every second count on course. Mentally, we got to make every second count. Find your focus, find your flow. Don't let anything break it. I'm on course. My family's out there, my kids yelling for me. I push them. I actually, Madeline came out, give me a high five. I pushed her out of the way. Said, move. You're messing with my flow. Give you a hug and a kiss afterwards. Out of here. I get pissed when people yell my name when I'm racing. Don't mess with me. I work too hard to find in this flow for you to mess it up. Whether you're 4, 44, or 84, I'll push you right out of my way, stomp over you, and then tell you sorry after the race. Find the flow, find your focus, and re-engage it as we go. Here we go. 5 minutes at threshold. Know your floor, find your focus. 5, 3, 2, 1. Let's go. Fatigued, we're beat up, physically, mentally depleted. No different than race day. No one's going to come play a tiny violin for you. You got to overcome it. And we're going to be going uphill. So we're going to practice keeping the effort up on the climb. No one goes below threshold. I want you to think about bringing a heel through the top, dropping the heel down the front. Left heel through the top, down the front. 30 pedal strokes on your left. Count to yourself. Let's go. Good. 30 on your right. Heel through the top, heel down the front. Count to yourself. Let's go. Left heel. Drive it down the front. Pull it under the bottom. Left heel. 30 pedal strokes. Let's go. Over to the right heel. 30. Down the front. Pull it under. Right heel. 30. Let's go. Now, keep it above threshold. Left foot, right foot. Heel down the front. Pull it under the bottom. Combine the two. Let's go. Thirty seconds. Keep it right there. Keep shifting gears. Heel down, heel under. Right foot, left foot. 15 seconds. Three, two, one. Spin it out. 3 minutes. Going uphill again. Bring that gearing way down. So we got 2-minute effort at 105%. Coming up in 3 minutes. Little cherry on top. Just turning the screw. Slightly harder to make you remember this one. That's how we go. We hit the rivet, guys. Stay on the rivet. Don't fall to the back. Don't push over to the front. Hardest maintainable effort is where we're holding those last 6 efforts, where we built to. That's how we do it. All right, so in 90 seconds, we're gonna hit 2 minutes, 120 seconds at 105%. You can go to 110, but keep it in that range, 105 to 110. We'll hit that in about 60 seconds. You guys are doing great. It's how we push through. Fight the adversity, fight the pain of the effort. Come out on the other side stronger than you've ever been. Maybe you didn't have your best workout. Maybe you didn't feel great. You had to adjust that power down a little bit. Are you fitter after the workout than you were before? And if you're still here and you're still working, the answer is yes, right? Maybe you're not as recovered from another session or not as topped off fueling. You just don't feel great and you didn't hit a threshold for a lot of them, but you're still here. You're fitter than you were at the start, and that's a win. All right, here we go. 2 minutes, 105%. Big ring in the front. Here we go. 2, 1. Let's go. Come on. Come on, guys. Bring it up. We don't have time to waste. No time to waste. We're already 10 seconds in. Stabilize on the saddle. You can put your head down. Let me worry about the time. You worry about the effort. Going downhill, shift the gearing. Keep the pressure on the pedals. Come on. 60 seconds. Stay on it. Best part of a Sunday is that cherry. This is the cherry. Dig, 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 dig. Come on. $30. 20. We don't finish till the line. 3, 2, 1. Spin it out. That's how we get fast. Powerful and stronger. On Tuesdays, Thursdays, you apply that power and strength, and you get faster. Those threshold efforts, you go to that 20K in 2 weeks, you don't go below your threshold. That's your floor for 12.4 miles. All right, spin it easy for a couple more minutes. We'll get into our 60 to 70% effort in 2 minutes. Work our TT position, work that lower end, zone 1, zone 2. Add a little foundation on top of the intensity, a little resiliency, muscular strength on top of the fatigue. So we'll hit that, start that in 90 seconds, spin it out nice and easy. You're gonna work your TT position if you're on your TT bike. Cadence throughout, 75 to 80. So we're gonna have to keep changing those gears. I just love riding the course under our own power like this. It's so race specific, race feel, outdoor feel. Especially this time of year when it's dark, it's cold, it's probably raining, maybe even snowing where you're at. You can ride a course like this and do more from an execution standpoint and a feel standpoint than you could do if you're outside. So we'll keep using it to our advantage and using it as a tool that it is to improve our cycling and our feel and how we execute. So big ring in the front. 20 seconds, we'll dial in the 60 to 70% effort. You can go off heart rate. You can go off power. But I want that light zone 1, zone 2 foundation work to finish it off. Cadence 75 to 80, 5 seconds. 2, 1. O'Driscoll, what do you got?
I got to admit, legs are a little wobbly after that last one, but just had to concentrate and get it done. Great workout, Jim. Great workout. Really enjoyed this one. Good to see Bloody Lung back. Megan Greenwich back.
Drew is back. Find your rhythm. Find your feel at this effort. About your Ironman effort, maybe a little lower than your Ironman effort.
That last 1 minute that we just did reminded me, came into mind of at Tower 26 swimming. Anthony Ross always likes to fill them both up, fill both chambers. That's what it was. That last effort was filling both chambers. It was tough. Putting water in 2 chambers of your pull buoy, if you're not familiar with the swimming.
Oh yeah. Like carrying around a dead body. Not that I would know that would feel like, but I would assume it feels like a dead body.
One of the greatest things to see is Peter Brantley with 2 water bottles filled. And he's dragging his toenails along the bottom of the pool.
When I do full poo buoy and Peter Brantley's there, I have him get out and drink the water. I don't even have him swim with it. Jordan, you're right. Check my trunk. No. An athlete pulls the chute. Doesn't give. I don't care. I don't want you. Hey, Greenwich, you know this saying. Don't do your best. How do you finish that saying? Greenwich. Don't do your best. What should you do? Don't do your best, do my best. Come on, Greenwich, you know Corolla. Find somebody doing your best, not doing my best. You end up in my trunk. You get it, O'Driscoll? I'm a demanding coach. That's what I say.
Yeah, same as me.
Adam Carolla says that. Don't do your best, do my best. And I'm going to adopt it. Get a t-shirt. Says that. All right, hopefully at 70%, hopefully that heart rate's aligning to that 70% effort. It's a short one today, considering how much quality we did. We're only doing the 8 minutes. But like Chris said, he had the rubbery legs. As the lactate builds, that's where you get the rubbery leg feeling. But the more we get accustomed to clearing that lactate efficiently, like the work we do on Tuesdays with those 30-30s or 40-20s, the more and more you can put off that rubbery feeling. Your body's clearing the lactate efficiently, and you don't get that buildup.
Hey, what's very important right now, once we get off the next 30 minutes, if you're not running, is you need to eat breakfast. That will help with the recovery. That will help with not feeling dead tired at 11 o'clock, wanting to take a nap. So when you get off, protein shake, a little bit of breakfast, go to work, fill up the copier, sharpen your pencils. I'm talking to you, bloody lung. Make sure you're eating.
Leone needs to be wearing a mask. Forget eating. Yes, and he's got a shovel. He's digging through fire debris all day. He's eating ash over there. I said ash, Brian. Get your mind out of the gutter.
Hey, that reminds me. I've had a couple of requests if you could do a LA marathon talk like a week before. Could you, is that possible? You can put that together?
I think that'd be a good idea.
Yeah. We've got quite a few people running LA Marathon. And even if you're not running it, it's great information.
Yeah, I'll bring up some past charts, go over the undulation, talk about some inside secrets that you must
we'll
have
have
for
a
that
happy
course.
hour. We'll do a happy hour on a Friday evening, the week before or something. What was that challenge we did a couple of years ago? Swedish fish. We did something, Jim. I can't remember what it was.
Eating contest.
An eating contest.
Oreos.
Oreos and Swedish fish. That's right.
All right, guys, 45 seconds. Keep the effort there. We don't give up. But we don't quit until the finish line. Keep it at that 70%. Make the most of every second of the session. And you can go on to the rest of your day. But you guys did a great job changing the gears, feeling out the course, learning how to shift accordingly while keeping pressure on the pedals at the specified effort, and learning the feel of the effort, the feel of the bite on the pedal stroke. A lot of quality in this one, guys. So like Chris said, go get in your fuel, get recovered. Let's have a safe, fun weekend. We're back on the bike next week. Amazing work, guys. Love you. I'll see you next week. Bye.